Hi guys, welcome to the Wrestling Retrospective. In this video, I'll be doing my review of AEW Double or Nothing 2024. So the first match on the main card, we saw Will Ospreay become the new international champion by defeating Roderick Strong in what was a really good match. It was a match I very much enjoyed. For me, though I haven't watched a lot of Ring of Honor, but I did watch a lot of late 2010s NXT, I would have said this is my favourite Roderick Strong match, or at least the best match I've seen of his. But again, I've not seen his Ring of Honor stuff, and I've heard a lot of stuff about that. But then on the contrary, this, in my opinion, wasn't one of Ospreay's best. Not compared to the last few matches he's had in AEW, especially on pay-per-view against the like of Kenny Omega and Takeshita and all the others. But yeah, I thought I very much enjoyed it. The athleticism from both was really good. The start of the match wasn't quite the way I was expecting it, with kind of the more brawling type start, but then it did go kind of into the match I expected, with the flips and the athleticism and Roderick targeting the head and back of Ospreay and stuff like that. But yeah, the match itself I very much enjoyed. Where Roderick Strong goes from here, I'm not sure. I know he's part of the Undisputed Kingdom, and with MJF's return, I assume that the main concentration of the Undisputed Kingdom will be on MJF. Whereas with Ospreay, as much as I like the fact that he is the international champion, I do wonder where it will leave him come All In, because obviously my dream match for All In, and a match I've very much talked about a lot on here, is Ospreay versus Swerve for the World Championship. But will Ospreay just become a double champion? Will he go in with the intention of double champion? I can't see him losing the international title in 2 months, or just over 2 months before All In. So I don't know. I feel like it's kind of, I don't know if they're going to have somebody maybe cost Ospreay the championship or something, but either way, the match was very good. I do question where Ospreay goes. And obviously, Roderick Strong, I assume, will concentrate on Undisputed Kingdom stuff between now and All In, where I assume we might get Adam Cole versus MJF too. Following the first match, we had Adam Cole make his entrance and kind of cut a promo saying that he's nearly ready to come back to the ring, and that the Undisputed Kingdom are great, and that he's great. And that was swiftly interrupted by the return of MJF, which I was surprised about, to be fair. I assumed he was going to come back at Forbidden Door, with it being in Long Island. But yeah, the pop was as huge as it would be if it had been in Long Island, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, he cut an impassionate promo about being back in AEW and how he's not going anywhere, and how he's got a new tattoo that, could be questionable if he ever does go to WWE. But yeah, I think it's very good. I'm glad that MJF is back. It's a bit more sudden than I thought it was going to be, but I'm hoping this, as I've alluded to in the last part, I'm hoping this leads to a MJF vs Adam Cole rematch at All In. But if Adam Cole is okay by that point, but I can see MJF kind of feuding with Roderick Strong and Wardlow and the Kingdom from probably tonight on Dynamite to All In. But yeah, something I'm very much looking forward to. Very glad MJF is back. After that, we had the Bam Bam Gang successfully retain the Unified Trios World Championships. I always get that confused. It's World Trios Championship, against Death Triangle. And what was a really good match, very action-packed throughout. I like the way that the Bam Bam Gang did kind of cut the ring in half between the three of them, and I can't remember who it was that they targeted. But yeah, it was just a classic kind of bang average trios match, which isn't always a bad thing. But everything kind of came in the back end of the match, where we saw the return of Juice Robinson to a pretty big pop as well. Not as big as MJF, but did it pop when Juice returned. Juice is great. I love Juice. I think he's a really great addition to the Bam Bam Gang, and I can't wait to see what he does. I wonder if they'll do the Freebird rule, where any three of them can defend the trios titles, therefore maybe leaving Jay White free to be able to go for a singles championship, which I would much rather prefer. And yeah, then my issue here with this match was the loss of Death Triangle, but then I would have said that was an issue with Bang Bang Gang. Well, I felt like this match was very much booked into a corner where Pac really couldn't afford another loss. He lost to Okada at Dynasty, he's lost here, has 2 championships, 2 pay-per-views, and 0-2. I assumed when Pac was going to make his return that he was going to get pushed quite well. I had like a video planned about Pac where I was going to talk about how he should be treated as a on the same level as Jericho and Hangman and Omega in the books, about how he is an AEW original. But it just doesn't seem to be going that way. I don't know why he's losing so much, but maybe it goes hand in hand with maybe a heel turn where he turns on Death Triangle and maybe feuds with Penta and Ray for a bit, or I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't understand why they would have Pac lose so much, but I understand why they want the Bam Bam Gang to win as well, as they also are over. So yeah, for me, questionable booking just as far as the match goes, because they couldn't afford for either team to really lose. I do prefer that the Bam Bam Gang stay champions, though I'm not a big fan of Pac losing so much on pay-per-view. Following that, we had the Women's World Championship match where Toni Storm successfully defended against Serena Deeb in what was a very good match. I did say on the predicted video how I was very disinterested by Serena Deeb. I'm not a big fan of hers, but this was a really good match, in which I very much enjoyed. The close calls were incredibly close and made this match even more entertaining, and it did feel like the title was in jeopardy at times, and that's what I enjoy out of championship matches on pay-per-views, when the title feels as if it's going to be lost by the person, obviously, that I'm a fan of. So yeah, for this match pretty much had everything. I'd say it was one of the better matches of the night, though it wasn't quite match of the night. But yeah, both proved how good they were in the ring. Toni continues to show how good she is, character and wrestling wise. We didn't get the return of Jamie Hayter again, which I'm not expecting now, but the Forbidden Door match, I'm expecting maybe we might get a Jamie Hayter return. I assume that at Forbidden Door we're going to get Storm versus the lass that also associates herself with Mariah May from Stardom, who I can't remember for the life of me the name of. But yeah, I feel like that's where that match is going for Forbidden Door, and then yeah, we move on to All In, where I would hopefully like to see either Storm in a Fatal 4-Way match or Storm versus Hayter at All In. But yeah, for me, one of the better matches of the night, absolutely great match. And yeah, Miss Storm continues her reign of dominance over the women's division. Next up, we had Orange Cassidy defeat Trent Beretta in what was a decent match. It was alright. I can't think of any massive highlights for the match. It was just really a decent match. You know, I don't really got much else to say about this one other than the fact that Orange got the win, but Orange didn't need the win. I felt like Trent needed the win more just to establish himself as a heel. Trent then left through the crowd, you know, which I kind of makes it feel like he's quit or is going to leave AEW or something like that, but I can't see that happening. I feel like maybe he'll take a month away and then attack Orange after a match next month at just on Dynamite or something. Actually, I don't think it'll be on pay-per-view, but yeah, the match was okay. I haven't really got much else to say on this one. It was alright. Like, I haven't got any complaints, but nothing really stood out for me massively other than the result being incorrect. But yeah, I was hoping for a bit more from Trent Beretta, and yeah, I feel like Orange didn't need this one at all, really. After that, we had Jon Moxley defeat Konosuke Takeshita in a IWGP World Heavyweight title match eliminator in what was probably the biggest screw job of the night. I thought that Takeshita more or less wrestled the perfect match and lost. This felt very WWE of AEW, because Takeshita controlled the match for the most part. Like, I'm pretty sure on points Takeshita won, because this was unbelievable. Like, Takeshita more or less controlled Moxley for the majority of the match. It wasn't like Moxley didn't do anything. Like, you know, he got his licks in, but the atmosphere of the match was that Takeshita was going to outperform Moxley, out-wrestle Moxley for the most part, get the win, and then eventually take his championship. That's the kind of vibe I got from watching the match, and that just wasn't the case. A chair was introduced by Takeshita at the digression of Don Callis, which is very unusual for Don Callis. That then ended up, I think Moxley did a curb stomp into the chair and then hit Death Rider, and then that was it. And I don't understand why they would do it that way. I feel like that was the wrong way to do that. I would have had Takeshita win, pretty much. I would have had Takeshita win. I don't know whether New Japan had something to do with it, with the fact they don't want Takeshita to face Moxley for the title, but it would have made a great Forbidden Door match in a defense for the IWGP title between Moxley and Takeshita. But yeah, I feel like this was the wrong decision. The match should have gone to Takeshita, and yeah, Takeshita continues to prove why he is one of the, like, he's going to be like the main person going forward in AEW, in my opinion. At least he should be, because he is one of the best wrestlers in the division, and he's taken Moxley straight to the limit, to the point where Moxley's more or less had to cheat to win, which I know is very Moxley, but you know, I don't know, it just annoyed me because Takeshita, I'm like one of Moxley's biggest fans. I absolutely love Moxley. I'd say he's probably my favourite wrestler in AEW. And yeah, I felt like he should have 100% lost this match, and it's a massive shame for Takeshita that he didn't get the win here. Following that, we had the barbed wire steel cage match where Adam Copeland successfully retained the TNT title against Malachi Black. And yeah, I don't know what to think about this match other than the fact it was a huge nostalgia act. Edge came out to Angel of Death again, like he did at WrestleMania, and then he did the whole Brood thing, which I'm surprised that AEW were allowed to use the Brood. I assume that WWE just didn't renew the copyright on the Brood. They brought Gangrel in for the ending part of the match, which I thought was very interesting, and I don't know whether it was necessary or not. I would have probably had two other people, probably younger people, helping out Edge, Adam Copeland. But yeah, I don't know. It's annoying knowing that that Adam Copeland is now injured. The fact that he lost this match, where they could have maybe had Malachi win and the title wouldn't have to be relinquished, because now, you know, Malachi lost the match and now there's no champion anyway, and he's probably not going to win the assuming tournament that Khan's going to do for the TNT title. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame for me as a Malachi Black fan, but yeah, the match itself was really good. I do like really bloody matches and all that good stuff, so for me, I enjoyed the match from the part. I did find it very silly at times. I thought the jump off the top by Edge was just stupid in every single way, because no matter how he landed there, he was going to get hurt, because he's like 50, and no 50-year-old should be doing that kind of jump. And also he landed leg first, but no matter how he landed, it would have hurt, because he put barbed wire all over Malachi Black, so it would have just cut him up anyway. So yeah, I don't know, it was a bit of a silly move. I feel like the person who should have done that bump was Malachi to Copeland, and Malachi probably could have done it safely and wouldn't have got injured. But yeah, other than that, that was my only really gripe with the thing, is that, like, and the fact it was a nostalgia act, like I put at the top, isn't necessarily a bad thing. I loved the Brood. I know it's not my era, but I have been back and watched some of the stuff from the Brood, and they are very good. But yeah, for me, great match. It's a shame that Adam Copeland is injured. I am interested to see where the TNT title ends up after tonight on Dynamite, whether they do a tournament or a battle royal or something. I assume it will be a tournament, because they only can't for that kind of thing. But yeah, so overall, great match. Very enjoyable for me. As I said, he likes really bloody matches and stuff like that. But yeah, as I said, kind of a downer because Edge got injured. Adam Copeland got injured. Following that, we had Mercedes Moné win the TBS Championship from Willow Nightingale in what was, in my opinion, the match of the night. I think it was just good to see kind of Mercedes Moné, though, how bad she's been on the mic. You know, she can still absolutely go in the ring. I didn't see any of the New Japan and Stardom stuff that she did. So to know that kind of the Sasha Banks essentially is still there is really good. You know, Sasha Banks was arguably one of the best women wrestlers on WWE's roster at the time. So to see that come over here to AEW is very good, and hopefully, you know, she can start putting on big and good matches with other people, like throughout, and kind of go on a Jade Cargill type reign with the championship. Not as far as wins and losses go, but just as far as, you know, championship reigns and stuff like that. And yeah, even Willow looked great in this one. The wrestling fluidity throughout was really good. Even, I would have said the only thing about the match was the interference of Statlander and Hathaway, but even that was rectified in the end when Statlander turned heel on Willow after the match, which is something I popped for more than Mercedes winning the match. I'm still not the greatest fan of Mercedes right now, so you know, I'm not that happy, and I feel sorry that Willow only got like a month with the championship, and she was essentially just a transitional champion from Julia to Mercedes. But yeah, Statlander turning 100% behind that. I feel like it was been coming for a long time, and hopefully she can go on a bit of a tear through the women's division. But I wouldn't have her feud with Mercedes for the TBS championship. I'd have her go for the world title, you know, kind of turn Toni Storm babyface almost, if she's not already considered a babyface, and then have Stat kind of be the biggest threat to her title since she won it pretty much. But yeah, for me, and absolutely hands down, this was match of the night for me. I felt like it was better than the Anarchy in the Arena and the Swerve and Christian match, which is something I wasn't expecting going in. I really had low expectations for Mercedes, which I should have known better than to think. But yes, very enjoyable. Mercedes is the new TBS champion, and Statlander is now a heel. After that, we had Swerve Strickland to successfully defend the AEW World Championship against Christian Cage in what was a decent match. I haven't really got much to say about this one. It was good from both. Both got really good showings in this match. I'm glad that Christian Cage got his spotlight in the main event. The only thing that really got me was commentary moaning about how Christian Cage hasn't earned a title match just after Mercedes Moné won the TBS Championship, where she did nothing, not even wrestled to get a championship match. So I feel like they probably shouldn't have done that on commentary, but I understand why they did it, to add to the storyline. But yeah, Christian made Swerve look really good here, and he's managed to beat a veteran, and they've done this kind of stuff before where they've had world champions beat veterans, but it's kind of been like Dustin Rhodes or Christopher Daniels or something, where I feel like, well, yeah, you'd expect those to lose, whereas there was that bit more jeopardy with Christian Cage and having the patriarchy at ringside, and then kind of outsmarting Prince Nana to get him kicked out of ringside, and then eventually it all fell apart and they got kicked out of ringside as well. And then Nick Wayne came back and almost cost Swerve the match. So yeah, everything kind of worked out really well. The attack on Wayne, like what all the story is based around is where Swerve attacked Wayne and his thing. So to have Wayne almost cost Swerve the title made perfect sense. And yeah, like it all worked perfectly. It just, the match itself didn't really have any massive moments. It was just one decent defense in the main event, which is what I expect from Swerve and Christian Cage. It just didn't kind of do more as far as expectations go, but that's fine. I mean, like I said, I haven't got really any complaints. It was a decent match, and Swerve continues his reign as world champion. And finally, in the main event, we have the Elite, Young Bucks, Okada and Jack Perry defeating Team AEW, which was Bryan Danielson, Cash Wheeler, Dax Orders, FTR and Darby Allin, in what was an absolute shit show, but in kind of the best way. This match just was insane from the get-go, from the changing of theme songs playing all the time to fighting the crowd the whole time. Team AEW didn't even get an entrance, they just attacked the Bucks and Okada during their entrance, and then Jack Perry just showed up. But yeah, the highlights of this match, Darby Allin getting ran over, maybe, apparently. I don't know, it was never confirmed or not whether he got hit by a car, but the commentators made it out as if he did, hence why I put literally at the top. We had Jack Perry be set on fire, which again made sense with him then going into an ice bucket earlier in the match. They wouldn't be that bad when he did get set on fire. We had Darby Allin hanging from the ceiling by his feet and getting super kicked with thumbtack covered shoes. It was just absolutely insane. And yeah, I mean, I was very surprised to see Jack Perry pick up the pinfall victory here. But again, it also makes sense with the fact that he's the one that kind of started all this, and I expect this to continue all the way up till maybe we can Double or Nothing next year, maybe. But yeah, so the match was enjoyable for the most part. I only really chose Mercedes and Willow as kind of a wrestling match because this felt more like a fight and a complete car wreck of a match. I can't really call it match of the night because, as good as it was, and it was probably like a close second, there was really no wrestling element to it. It was just an absolute shit show. But yeah, I really much enjoyed it. I'm very surprised to see Jack Perry get the win, but though it made sense. Tony Khan threw himself down the bloody ramp, which I thought was quite funny. But yeah, the visual of having Jack Perry on fire was nuts. But yeah, for me, very good match, and I expect this to continue for months and months and months longer, so we'll see where we're at when this thing comes to an end. So those are my thoughts and opinions on Double or Nothing. There's a lot of highlights from this one, and just really enjoyable show. Obviously Swerve retaining, Mercedes and Will are absolutely killing it, and Will Ospreay getting the championship. Tony Storm retaining was really good, but there's also some lower points like Takeshita getting absolutely screwed, and yeah, just Pac just kind of getting screwed as well in a way. But I think there was more positives and negatives. I was really enjoying it. So I wouldn't say it's the best pay-per-view they've had this year, but it's definitely up there, one of the best. I think it'll be up there by the end of the year, I think. But yeah, do tell me what you thought in the comments down below, and tell me what your favourite match of the night was. Of course, mine was Mercedes and Willow. And yeah, I'll ask you to like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video where I'm going to kind of do you won't see me, you won't see my ugly mug in it, but I'm going to do a SummerSlam card I'd like to see a few months before we actually do get SummerSlam. And yeah, for now, I'll thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.